Welcome back to Indian Trace. I might have to title this, and look at this bowl. It's a beautiful bowl, handmade. But I might have to title this Bowl of Souls. Maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we took a look at these. Maybe I entitled one before Bowl of Souls. Today, I'm also doing it in honor of Jonesy, of which I haven't heard from much lately, although I know he's been struggling with some serious, difficult health issues. If I can get the focus going here. There we go. Bowl of Souls. We're going to take a look at these. All of these are from one bin. Easy to grab. I might have 50 bins and don't get to see them that often. So when times are slow, I'll go back in time. Could be 3 years. Could be 4 now. I'm going on 5 years collecting, which is, to me, a long time. But to some of you, it's 1/6 of the time that you've collected. Bowl of Souls. Why? Because Jonesy had a bowl like this. And he had it filled, and he would just reach in and grab one and take a look at it and lay it out, which is what we do with artifacts. You who love artifacts will watch. And I really appreciate the encouragement of doing some of the display videos. But these are uncommon because they're not what I would put on my top shelf, but they're stellar. They're what I would have to put in my display quality artifacts. Just great stuff for me. Bowl of Souls. I don't know how well this focus is happening here. I will do my best. If I move fast, usually my focus doesn't keep up with me. Or I don't keep up with it, one of the two. And if you're out there and you believe in prayer, then if you hear anything about somebody on Indian Trace, or somebody on YouTube who are suffering and struggling in their health, then pray for them, because God is faithful. And the power of God to make people better does happen. Definitely does happen. But some of you might remember, and this is what gave me the inspiration, Jonesy did a couple videos like this with just an awesome bowl full of some of the points he'd found, and he went through them and just chatted a little bit about this or that. It's always a good thing, because if I haven't seen these points that often, then it's certain that many people out there haven't. It's just the way that this video can get set up is more difficult in terms of filming it. So I'll just do my best to show you. These are all a similar size. Don't want to say similar quality because they're all, to me, valuable enough to put in my display box. Piece from Notchville right here. Which is hard for me to say, really, because I do not think that any artifact that I collect is invaluable. Even all the artifacts out by my koi pond are valuable. That's why I have them. But at the same time, when you find a few, you have to figure out how you're going to keep them. And I guess everybody does it differently. That's the good thing about human beings. Unique. Bowl of Souls. Looks like I probably have to do 2-part. Look at a little bit of relief on that point right there. So you're looking at a glean worth 5 years worth of gleaning here of one middle section bin that is uncommonly seen altogether. But just some fantastic pieces from all of my sites. The way it works when I say site, I don't mean area. I might have 8 sites, I might have 7, but within those, I have, and I blend the names sometimes, I don't do a good job representing it. Within those, I might have 85 areas in those 7 land sites that I'm able to get by. That's it, though. I just either don't have access or I just can't get to to check other land sites out. But as it seems to have worked out, it's worked out for me. And I have no complaints about it. Point here from Stone Gap, or I should say CAP, C-A-P. But all in all, I wanted to at least make an effort to do a display video today, going into the holidays, and what will you? Jon Rappoport, who is an independent journalist, who does an awesome job putting things together in current events and what's been happening. There's so many credible, honest, intelligent, independent journalists nowadays. We have no excuse for finding out and listening and making our own decision in our own mind up as to what we believe is the truth. Moving forward, being advocates and voting towards that end. But Jon Rappoport put out two incredible, what I think is incredible sets of thought. His system of thought. And he's been around as a journalist for decades. I think you'll enjoy them. That's why I wanted to try. My focus is giving me a problem on this. This is an interesting point. I think it's a woodland. You can tell me differently. I know it's an ancient Indian point. That's about it. It's a nice piece. But he's been around for decades. I think you will. And look at, I'm just setting him up over here. Just putting a ring of it. Bowl of Souls. Jonesy, if you do get to see this, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're doing better, I guess. Bowl of Souls. I guess in honor of what you've contributed to the Artifacts community here. I think many people appreciate it. I guess I could say, just like Trump, there's a straightforward and harsh edge that needs to be had. Everybody needs to stay in their lane. I guess follow their heart and do what they're led to do in terms of relationships with other people, or their channel on YouTube, but everybody should make an effort. That's an interesting point from Saponi. I'm not sure my focus is working. There we go. And Jonesy has done a fantastic job, I think, representing an edge, military edge of Alabama. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are all touchy, who are all too tight concerning what they believe somebody should say, what they believe somebody should act like. But I'm not a busybody. I don't get involved in how other people should behave, what they should say, how they should act. I don't judge them. They can be, act, and say anything they please. And as we finish this one, I don't know if this folks is coming in. This is a great one from the Basin. Well, as they be, act, say anything they please, I can choose whether or not I'm going to be close to them or I'm going to put them at an arm's distance. I can choose whether or not I'm going to vote them out or I'm going to support them. Bowl of Souls, right? That's really what it is. I'm going to conclude with two pieces here. Just keep moving forward with some of this stuff. Very early point that I found here. Very difficult for the focus. I hope it's not terrible on you. And I think that's what Jonesy did. Although many people think that when we share our opinion about something, or we share our belief, that we simply don't accept. We don't, tolerate differences in other people, but it's definitely not true. If I disagree with you, or if I disagree with the way you live, that won't stop me from having you over for a cookout and talking, discussing things. But there is a sect of people that don't have the composure, I guess you might want to say don't have the tolerance to discuss it intelligently. Maybe they don't have an argument. I'm not sure. One more point, and we're going to rock on to part 2. John Rappaport puts all of this stuff, and he really got me stirred up today, in some great perspective. This is a great size in these points. See where it's relieved off the back to half that in. But Jonesy, in honor of your bowl of souls, maybe you named it that, I'm not sure. Look at the color in that. I'm doing this video. Just some great stuff. And oh, I forgot to mention, these pieces, I don't find a whole lot every day, not at all. Maybe many days, but last find out I found these at the Cove. And not bad. Didn't spend a whole long time there. I often do not have that. Look at the flute on the back of this point. I mean, go figure that story. I'm sure for eons of time, passed through their generations, passed through their experience, they knew what flutes were and understood them and tried them, even on the smaller pieces that were being made. It's craziness, though. A couple other great points. This quartz is ground heavily on the base, if anybody's interested. A little bit off the tip. Of course, it's quartz, very smooth, always translucent. Then a point in rhyolite right here. So those were most recent finds. But as I said, many of you joined me. It's very slow. And so that's why I'm go ahead and just make some of these to spend a little time out there. And I know that there's some out there who don't get to collect it all or don't find much, and they just like to get close and get a chance to see some artifacts up close. As always, hope you find out there. Bowl of Souls, Part 1, right?